What's up guys, this is Coach Donnie with ElevateYourself.org. Welcome to my reaction video from Season 1, Episode 7. For those of you who don't know me, I'm a volleyball coach and a player. And if you want to learn how to play volleyball or increase your vertical jump, then check out my tutorial video playlist below. We are officially at 84 members on our Elevate Yourself Patreon, which is amazing. Thank you again for your support. If you remember from my last reaction video, I promised I would make 2 Haikyuu reaction videos per week if we hit 100 members. So make sure that you join our Patreon linked below to help support Elevate Yourself and receive access to exclusive content. It's also time to announce the winner of our giveaway for the first 50 members to join. So make sure you watch until the very end of this video to find out who wins the free Elevate t-shirt and lanyard. Thank you for the spoiler alert warnings. I basically skip over the comments when I see the word spoiler, but I'm still glad that you guys leave those type of comments because it's a fun way for all the other fans who've already watched Haikyuu to interact with each other. Some of you asked who is Kai from the end of my last reaction video. You need to watch my other non-Haikyuu videos to learn who Kai is. It's interesting how prefectural games in Japan are only best of 3 sets, whereas in tournaments they're best of 5 sets. It's the complete opposite in the USA, where we play best of 5 sets for our local league games and best of 3 sets for tournaments. Let me know in the comments below what the local league and tournament format is in your country. Someone mentioned in the comments that they are hesitant to play volleyball because they're not the sporty type. I want to encourage you that even if you're not the athletic or sporty type, you should play volleyball because it's super fun and it makes you happy, not necessarily because you think you'll be great at it. Also, the volleyball community is one of the best sports community in the world that's very positive and laid back. Many of you have suggested to try watching Haikyuu on Crunchyroll instead of Netflix for better quality translations. I was initially resistant because I didn't want to pay $7.99 per month just to watch one anime. But after several of you kept suggesting it, I looked into it and learned that they offer a free version for the first few seasons of Haikyuu, but with advertisements. From this point on, I'll try using Crunchyroll to see if it helps me better understand the story. Thank you to all of you fans for just bringing so much positivity to this channel. I love reading your comments and all the conversations that you are having with each other. Many people think that you have to post controversial or negative content just to be successful on YouTube. But this channel shows that we can be positive, inspirational, and have fun while being successful. I started including subtitles in the last reaction video, so let me know if you would like me to continue doing that. Now let's watch episode 7 and see who this K-pop setter is. Karasuno versus Aoba Josai. Ooh, got that intense bass music going on. Must be serious. How's the ankle? It's more like how's the haircut? Ah. Wants to play against Kageyama, huh? True competitor, wants to play against the best. Ooh, he has his own fan club, every athlete's dream. Nice guy. Okay, he's being sarcastic. Oh, and he's the captain. Wow, must be pretty bad if Kageyama is saying that. Even worse than Suki. Senpai. Maybe it's upperclassman or elder. So, after the intro for Haikyuu, I just watched like 6 or 7 advertisements that took probably 10 minutes, which was a huge waste of time. So I'm just going to purchase the Crunchyroll subscription just so I can watch Haikyuu, because I am committed for the long haul. I'm going to try to watch all the seasons and all the episodes and catch up to where you guys are at right now. The good news is the first month is free, so I'm going to try to milk it as best as I can during that first month. Uh-oh, I don't recognize that character. I almost spoiled myself. Yeah, whether you like a person or not, if they're good, you can learn something from them. You just don't have to tell them. At least he listens to his coach. Oh, right through that seam. That's a cool sequence. Let's go over that. So here you see Tanaka charging up. We're going to go over where he hits in between the blockers. Paused it perfectly. So this is what we call the seam, where we hit in between two blockers. And this happens in two situations. When the right front blocker, who is number 7, goes too far beyond the hitter. This is called the post blocker because they're setting a post so the middle can close to the post. So the post blocker goes too far, then it makes it more difficult for the middle to close, leaving a gap. So if you're a post blocker, whether you're the left front or the right front, you want to line up so that the hitter's hitting shoulder is in the center of your chest. So I always teach my players to grab the hitter's hitting shoulder, and that's how you properly line up, because you're taking a little bit of line and a little bit of angle, but more importantly, you're taking away the middle of the court. So here you'll see a huge gap that Tanaka can exploit and hit right through that seam. Karasuno 24. Game point. That doesn't guarantee anything. Got a little sweat coming down the brow there. A little nervous, coach. Uh-oh, is he gonna come in and save the day? Leave the rest to your senpai. I need to start saying that when I sub in. Oh, I think they said he has a very powerful attack. Perfect contact. Let's go back to that one. That's a great drawing, by the way. I love that flowy calligraphy style artwork. So that's a really cool image on how to contact the ball. Man, they even included the texture of the Molten Fleece Attack, which is this ball here, by the way. If you want your own Molten Fleece Attack ball, you can actually get 5% off your purchase using my discount code and link below if you want your own Molten Fleece Attack. It's actually my favorite volleyball. I'll also include my review video of this volleyball below. Anyways, back to contacting the ball. When you're jump serving, even though the ball is going downward, it actually has to go forward first to get over the net before it drops downward. Unless you're jumping super high and touching like 12 or 13 feet at the highest professional level, most of us have to contact the ball at the equator. So if this is the Earth and the equator is dead center, you want the middle of your palm to connect right at the equator, which is exactly what the server is doing. That allows you to drive it hard and forward, and the top spin is what's going to keep it in play. And it's right over his hitting shoulder, lots of top spin, and lots of heat. Wonder why they don't put in a libero for Tsuki. Maybe because they don't have a libero yet. Now you gotta hide Tsuki. Don't let him pass. More powerful than Kageyama's jump serve. That's pretty good. That's a good captain, always encouraging your teammates. He's always mean, I hate him. That's right. Even if you don't like each other, you still gotta work together because you're on the same team. Yeah, that's right. Gotta hide him. Pass the whole court, Daichi. That's a really great illustration on how to rearrange serve-receive. He's gonna find Tsuki even in that little corner. Ooh. Uh-oh, might be an overpass. Yeah. Pass the ball right over. Ooh, running that slide for Vegeta. How's the shrimp there? Damn, if you had that much time to talk in the middle of a spike, that'd be awesome.
Welcome to Comcast. For more information about our privacy practices,
Stupid internet.
visit us at xfinity.com.
Hit it! Hit him in the face! Oh no, he's gonna dig it. Oh! Did he hit it right past the K-pop star? I don't even remember his name anymore. Oh, they won. That was pretty badass, and Hinata got game point. Even he's impressed. Right past him. Man, the animation where the hair is flowing as the ball is going past you. Here's a little animation breakdown in case some of you end up becoming animators, or this is just fun to appreciate. The scene where Hinata hits the ball so fast that the captain from Seijo can't even respond. The way they animate this is in layers. So they have one animation that just illustrates the head, and then they have another layer of animation on top that just illustrates the wavy hair and the clothing. Even though the hair is waving for 3 to 4 seconds, it's actually one single animation that is looped maybe 10 to 12 times. So you get one animation of the hair doing that, and then you loop that over and over again. So these are just some of the animation tricks that you learn. Let's watch that scene again, because they do a really good job of this. So the head is still, but the jersey and the hair are waving, and it's the loop of that animation. The two misfits end up becoming potentially some of the better players on the team. Brazil. That guy looks like a character from Final Fantasy, sitting on that stool. I can see what the coach is saying, and I know it seems like he's over dramatizing it, but when people have those experiences that are out of this world, or you feel like the universe has connected you to this special experience, I think that's what makes life so interesting, is having those moments of amazing synergy. And it might not even be connecting you to another person, but just having that mind-blowing experience where you felt like everything in the universe lined up just for that one moment in time, and you were privileged enough to experience that. And he's commenting on this dynamic between Kageyama and Hinata, and how I think that's one of that universe lining up moments. There's that looping animation, that water faucet. Just play that loop over and over again. Save yourself some animation time and effort. Oh man, that's some deep trauma. Man, Kageyama's just taking it and taking responsibility for his past actions. Wonder what volleyball song that is. He said we. Another change in personality. I wonder if he meant I feel defeated emotionally and physically, like being physically beat, but also emotionally because he realized that he's matured and he's moved on. Oh, Hinata's ready to fight. That was hilarious. Standing behind Tanaka, the fighter.
最後のワンタッチとブロードすごかったね。次は最初から全力でやろう。まだセットアップは見せてなかったし。あ、そうそう。もちろんサーブを磨いておくからね。そうだ。本当ならあのサーブが最初から炸裂するんだ。君らの攻撃は確かにすごかったけど、レシーブがグズグズじゃすぐに限界が来るんじゃない。
Yeah. Passing is inconsistent. They need a libero. I'm assuming the Inter-High preliminaries is another big local high school tournament. I would say passing is definitely one of the toughest skills to work on, specifically in serve receive. The guardian deity of Karasuno? Is that a player or is that a mascot? But someone's stuck in the custodian closet. Oh, it's Tanaka this time trying to hit the water ball. First time, yes, take the shirt off. I'm gonna do that one of these volleyball games. I'm going to take my shirt off and fling it around. That's right, he also admires Kageyama. Yeah, I kind of like this guy. He's being pretty honest. I'm gonna comment on the setter. So when I first looked at him, I didn't like him just because he seemed like he's full of himself, which he probably is. He's the captain and he looks like he's getting special treatment. But everything he's said so far actually makes sense. He's not like Suki where he's purposely saying dumb stuff just to get under your skin, and I'm sure he's trying to get into the heads of his opponents. But everything he says is true. He's being honest about his setting ability, and if he believes that Kageyama is a better setter, that takes a lot of humility and truth to admit that. But he's also acknowledging the other aspect of the game where he can't set without good passing, and so he's probably trying to figure out how to exploit the team and beat them next time. And he knows he can beat them in other areas like serving, blocking, and hitting. And even though he's not as good as Kageyama at setting, he knows he can beat him with blocking, serving, and digging, which is what makes volleyball such a great team sport, because there's so many ways to beat your opponent. It's not a single skill that wins a game. So I'm actually surprised that I kind of like this guy so far. That's right. At least there's another player that's willing to stand up to him and put him in his place. His eyes are huge right now. I wonder why he's so sleepy. Oh, probably because he couldn't sleep. He was so nervous before the game and didn't get any sleep.
指導者の方は僕に任せてくれ。当てはある。そうなんですか？それって。
That's a very good supervisor to admit that he's not able to really coach them on a technical level and strategy. Yeah, when you're confident about yourself, you're very okay with the strengths and weaknesses. So it looks like it's a team that doesn't have a lot of funding. I've been there before. That was my college team, San Jose State. We had to fundraise a lot. Yes, Chinese buns at a Japanese bakery. What a good local community guy supporting the local volleyball team. Oh, he might be a former volleyball player and they're going to recruit him as a coach. It's got that movie intensity feel. Always, Suki's always getting under people's skin. Coach Ukai. Maybe the former coach of Karasuno. I don't know. He still remembers the feeling of hitting the ball. Let's talk about Hinata's hitting form. I think it'd be really cool to see his hitting form evolve. So here he looks a little silly where his legs are spread, but the good thing is he's actually following through toward the center of his body, which is generally where you want to follow through with your spiking, either to the side or to the center. You don't want to go across too much or too far away, because that's actually really bad for your shoulder. Only for a few trick shots here and there, but you don't want to make that your main spiking technique for your arm swing. I'm going to talk about a technique called a pike. So if you see there, he opens up toward the setter. So he's facing the setter as a right-handed hitter, and opening up just means you're loading your hips to rotate for power. And he rotates through the ball, and as he's following through his rotation and his arm is going down, his legs naturally kick forward, and that's what we call a pike. So you're folding your body for that extra finish of power, using your core and abs to crunch forward. Now, I don't recommend consciously trying to pike. It should be a natural reaction to having the ball properly placed in front of your hitting shoulder and rotating through. But just know that that's why hitters will tend to fold their feet forward as a way to really accentuate that finishing power on a spike. Now for Kageyama setting hands, I don't recommend having your hands spread out like that. you want to follow through and point to where you want the ball to land. I love those spiking sounds they have in here.
1セット目盛大にやらかしたけどな。得点と同じぐらい失点もしてんだから。なんでそういうこと言うんだよ。
More pressure on Hinata, but at least there's no game tomorrow.
まだいろいろ足りてなくて、今日の勝利もギリギリだった。いっぱい練習します。もう大事だな。
Leveling up, talking that video game talk.
そうですよね。守備の要のリベロ、それと一人で敵の3枚ブロックと勝負できるエーススパイカー。エースなら俺が。だからおめえは最強のおとりだっつってんだろ。
Poor guy.
でも守護神が戻ってくるって。
Guardian deity, who is this guy?
強豪じゃないけど特別弱くもない。今までだって優秀な人材はいたはずなのに、その力をちゃんとつなげてなかった。でもまたみんなが揃って、そこに1年生の新戦力が。
That's right.
その戦力。
Individually, you might not be very strong, but together you can accomplish more than what you could individually. That's the spirit of team.
現実につかめるものにきっとなる。夏のインターハイ聞いたことある。けど、そのこれから戻ってくる人は今まで
Must have been injured or busy cleaning the closet.
なあ、1週間の自宅謹慎と約1ヶ月の部活禁止だったんだ。不良ちげえよ。あれはな。
Too fired up.
いいやつなんだよマジで。田中さんに熱すぎるって言われるとか。
If he's comparing him to Tanaka, man, if he's already crazy and if Tanaka thinks he gets fired up, he must be on another planet.
そいつが戻ってきたら先輩って呼んでやれよ。なんか田中にだけバカ喜びすると思うから。バカとか。
I'm assuming senpai means upperclassman. Please let me know if what that means. They know how to illustrate their water bottles here. They look really good in this entire anime. Oh, always spoiling things. Let's talk about Kageyama's jump serve. That's so funny. It's like a little brother that always gets in the way. Okay, my tip for improving your jump serve is to work on the movements without a ball first. So walk through the motions, mimic your favorite jump serve. That's a good place to start. I also have a jump serve tutorial, which I'll link below, that goes through step by step on how to jump serve. Okay, then the next step is to actually practice tossing the ball and then doing your spiking approach and then catching it at the peak. And the third step is to actually hit it. Now, one thing that's interesting about Kageyama is his amount of focus he has before the serve. And serving, especially on game point, is one of the most tense situations. And the way you learn how to deal with pressure productively is you have to have a consistent routine. So for me, I spin the ball twice, I bounce it, and then I take a deep breath. And there's no magical formula for what routine works the best. You just have to experiment and find what puts you in a mentally and emotionally good rhythm. So here it looks like he focuses for a few seconds, puts the ball on his forehead, and then what's interesting about Kageyama's toss is he tosses with two hands. It doesn't matter really if you toss with the left hand, toss with both, or toss with your right. Whatever allows you to toss consistently and allow you to get into your full hitting approach. Oh, actually, I think you might be tossing with one hand. And he gets blown up and can't even pass it. Yeah, okay, he's a one-hand tosser. Oh, this might be the guardian deity. No warm-up, just gets in there. He's a small guy too. He's got crazy hair like Hinata. You're shorter than me. That's the first thing he says, not how good the pass is. Here are my immediate reactions to episode 7. I'm excited that they finally have a libero, and I was wondering why they were playing without one, especially since that last game they were picking on Suki, who he's a middle, so he's not going to be the best at passing, so it's not his fault. But this guy already seems pretty badass. He's got a nice little dyed bang, he's got crazy hair, and he jumps in and passes the best server on Karasuno. So I'm excited to see how that's going to look while he's incorporated back into the team. And I'm also excited to see what his personality is like, knowing that Tanaka thinks he's even crazier than himself. But I understand where they're coming from, because I get super energetic and competitive on the court, and it's easy to lose control of your emotions when you're in the moment. I was surprised that they actually beat Seijo. I thought just for the sake of storyline and drama that they would lose a very close one, and the K-pop setter, sorry I don't remember his name, I'm just going to keep calling him K-pop setter. I thought he was going to come in and save the day and be this glorious volleyball prince and make all the girls blush after helping them come back from being down 20-24. So this is an interesting twist, and I'm happy that they won because Hinata was the one that scored the final point and even impressed the other team. I'm putting my money that the owner of the bakery is going to be their next volleyball coach. He's also kind of that misfit feel that Karasuno is, where it's just a hodgepodge of all these random personalities that just happen to work together, and he might be this secret local legend that we don't know about yet. And he's actually nice to them in a mean way, which really means he likes them a lot. But he did get the phone call, which means they are bringing out the secret weapons. I'm also interested to see the K-pop setter's setting ability and how that compares to Kageyama. I do admire their club supervisor, who's their acting coach, for being humble enough to admit that they do need to find an actual coach to really develop this team. And even though he is actually not a volleyball coach, that's actually a very good quality to have as a volleyball coach, or any coach for that matter. One thing I learned from one of the best high school coaches in California, Coach Brett from Archbishop Midi, who won, I think, 10 state championship titles. Pretty amazing guy. The way he recruits his coaching staff is to find coaches who are good at what he's not good at. If you surround yourself with coaches and people who just do what you ask and think exactly like you and have the same strengths as you, then you're not really developing yourself or your program. You need to find people who are going to balance you out and also challenge you to be better as a coach and to help compensate for the areas that you are weak in terms of developing the team. But going back to the concept of humility, it takes a lot of confidence to admit that you're not good at something, but that's the first step towards being successful at whatever you do. Now it's time to choose the winner of our giveaway for the first 50 members who join the Patreon. I've entered all 50 names of the members here. We got our little random Wheel of Fortune wheel that's going to help us select the winner. So close! Congratulations, Wetrix, for winning the Elevate shirt and lanyard. I hope you enjoyed this reaction video. Let's see if we can get to 100 members on our Patreon so I can start making 2 reaction videos for you every week. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video.